Hey everyone, Jamie Phillips, Action Auto Parts. It is Tuesday, I guess it is, and I've got a doctor's appointment. It's 10:05. I got a doctor's appointment in Danville in a couple hours, so I kind of dressed a little bit better, but I thought, well, it's supposed to rain again today. Probably won't be doing much, and I forgot to bring my work shoes, but I had another pair of old tennis shoes in Black Betty, so. In this episode of You Would Have to See It to Believe It, those guys in those bushes is a Toyota frame motor transmission. It's got that 2200 or whatever. It's got that one motor everybody likes in it. So I had taken that thing trade-in a couple years or better ago, and had it on Marketplace. This guy contacted me. Now, keep in mind, they're from South Carolina. And I basically had $0 in it, the way I traded. And so, I thought, well, if somebody wants a rear end or front differential or transfer case, whatever. And this guy's like, I'm in South Carolina. It's like, dude, I'll take $500 for it. You just come and get it. And he said, sold. This was in 2023. Now, I'd have to go back and look to see exactly what month, but it was in 2023. And he sent me the money. And he said, that might be a little bit before I come and get it. And I said, well, that's cool. And it'd go months. And I'd shoot him a text, hey, Melvin, you still going to come and get this? Yeah. I'll be there and get it. And I finally just got, screw it. He'll either come and get it or whatever. So he contacted me here probably about a month and a half ago. And he's like, do you still have my frame and motor and stuff? And I said, yeah, it's still sitting there. And I've got the engine covered up. But it's kind of in my way. And the reason being, and this was right before we crushed out. So it's been about a month ago or so. And I said, it's kind of in my way, Melvin, because I said, I'm getting ready to crush out a bunch of cars and I've got to redo my lines and get everything the way that I want them. And I said, my buddy that bought the convertible Mustang next to it, I think he's about ready to come and get it. And I said, if those two were out of the way, it would enable me to probably put another one over here in this line where that old Mud Toys at right there. And then I would still have room to drive behind them. That was always my goal, is to be able to drive front and back, so if somebody bought a rear end or something, they can pull back or buy it. And I've not really been able to do it on this road because I put that Mustang there and then that frame there. So I could have sworn there again, I'd have to go back and look. He was supposed to be here last week. And so I almost didn't even come in this morning. I thought, well, I'll just go out there after I get back from the doctor. But I said, no, I'll go on and open up. If I got some questions, I can get them answered. And so I'm sitting there eating my breakfast, and he calls. He said, Mr. Jamie, I'm at your place. And I said, okay. And I seen him coming up the drive. Well, I looked, and they didn't have no trailer. Let me turn this. They were in that real nice Chevrolet dually truck with no trailer. So, and you can see that big tank and stuff up in it. So I finished eating breakfast and I pulled up here on the hill, and I had told him, you need to bring you some tires and wheels. That was early on. He knew that. So I pull up here and they're standing over there looking at it. Of course, it's got some weeds and stuff growing up around it because we are behind on weed eating because of the rain and the crushing process and stuff. But anyway, I said, how are y'all gonna haul it back to South Carolina? And they pointed, setting it down on top of the truck bed. And this is a pretty nice Chevrolet dually truck. And I was like, how you gonna get it up there? You got any way to lift it? And I said, no, I got a couple of cherry pickers, but it ain't gonna lift it that high. And they're like, yeah, we can make it work. And I said, guys, I said, how in the world are you going to put that up on top of that big truck? and go back to South Carolina. It's longer than your truck bed. I said, if it was me, I would go and rent me. I'd get it ready to go. I'll help you if you need me to. Pull it up here on the flat. And I'd go at the closest place that's got a U-Haul car trailer and rent it and pull it up on it, strap it down, and go back to South Carolina. And one of them said, how much that cost? I don't know. I don't rent U-Haul stuff. But there's no way you're going to get that up on that truck, number one. Number two, if you do, I guarantee you will get pulled over multiple times because of the danger of it. And number three, why would you want to take a chance on tearing up that truck over a $500 frame? And he said, well, we got a tow hitch. And so we'll just hook it to the truck and pull it back. And I said, well, I would rather pull it back than try to haul it up on that bed. But here I'm thinking, it sets this old Toyota four-wheel drive frame with a motor and transmission, transfer case, all that stuff's on it. They're over putting a set of tires and wheels on it. Now their tires and wheels may be good, but how good is the bearings and the differentials and the U-joints and all of that? And they're going back to South Carolina. So I just, I went and changed my shoes in case I had to get out because I didn't want to get my other ones wet because we had a cloud burst there a minute ago. And I told them, I said, well, I got a doctor's appointment here in a little bit. And they said, oh, okay. And so I don't know. This is going to be interesting that they drove all this way getting something that they should have known that they would need a way to haul it back. And I guess if my old forklift was fixed, they was going to want me to pick it up and set it up on top of that truck. And so now they're going to try to tow hook and pull it all the way back to South Carolina. I didn't mean for this to go this long, but it's just so hard to tell this story, at least for me, without getting tickled. And I mean, they're grown men. I mean, it ain't like it's two teenage kids coming up here. But maybe they're used to doing sketchy stuff. I mean, I've done sketchy stuff, but I don't know. When I say that, we pulled one back from Pigeon Forge, and fog's so thick that you couldn't see 6 foot in front of you on a trailer with no lights. So I have done sketchy stuff, but I don't know that I would want to haul that all the way back to South Carolina just on a tow hook. I hope and pray they make it. So I'm going to stop it for now, and we'll see how this goes here in a little bit, and then I might try to add something onto the ending. But the things that I've seen, and I'm sure you all have seen some stuff too, but I'll try to add on to it here in a bit. Okay. We're still not to the ending, but he just come up and asked me if I had a hammer. So I went down to Black Betty and I had a small homemade looking sledgehammer. And I said, this isn't big enough. And he said, yeah, thank you. And they're over beating on the hubs because the brakes are stuck. And they're wanting to pull it all the way back to South Carolina. And so far they've beat on 2 of the hubs to try to get where they'll turn before they put the tires and wheels on them. You can hear them over beating on them. I'll talk to you in a bit. Okay, so had some other customers here, and I will give them credit. They have gotten all 4 of the brakes either free or broke loose or something, and they've got it rolling good. And he's put a tow bar hitch on the front of it, which he's pulling it backwards right there right now. But I guess they're gonna pull that thing all the way back to South Carolina. Hey, it's rolling good now, and they may do great with it, but I would have been so afraid of it. I'll have to definitely find out, and I will do this. I'll ask Melvin later if they got home okay with it, and I hope and pray they do. He's a good guy, but that would just worry me. Okay, so I will give them guys credit where credit is due. They got that thing rolling as smooth as butter. And they got their tow hook, their chains and all of that hooked to their truck. I kind of questioned again. Plus they bought a fender flare off of that 89 4Runner over there. But I said, guys, are you sure you think you can make it back? And he says, Mr. Phillips, we do this all the time with trucks, big trucks and everything. And even though their tag said South Carolina, they're actually going to Hickory, North Carolina. So he told me that they take a lot of stuff to Honduras. And it actually, once they get this back to North Carolina and do a few things to it, that this Toyota frame, motor and all that stuff that came from Action Auto Parts at Halls Gap, Kentucky, is going to Honduras. Like I said, you'd have to see it sometimes to believe it. But they were bound and determined. I mean, I will give them that they was not going to go rent a U-Haul trailer. They were going to pull this thing back. So I will probably later this evening, tonight, I'll shoot him a text and make sure they got home okay. But they got it rolling good, and there they go. It's going to Hickory, North Carolina, and then on to Honduras. Maybe make some family a nice vehicle. You never know. So give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.